The story centers around a man stuck in a dull, repetitive life, Hutch Mansell. The film opens with him sitting in an interrogation room, battered and exhausted. Two police officers question him about the chaos that brought him there. From this moment, the scene fades into the past, showing Hutch's ordinary daily existence. He lives a simple, monotonous life with his wife, Becca, and their two kids, Brady and Sammy. Despite trying to be a good husband and father, his family barely acknowledges him. The only one who still looks up to him is his little daughter, Sammy. His job is mundane and low-paying, and his life has become routine. Wake up, work, eat, sleep, repeat, with no excitement or appreciation waiting for him at home. This lack of respect eats away at him day by day. Hutch feels invisible, unimportant, and trapped in mediocrity. He quietly endures it all until one night when everything changes. While asleep, Hutch hears a suspicious sound. Realizing there are intruders in the house, he gets out of bed and goes to investigate. Two burglars, a man and a woman, have broken in. He tries to stay calm as they threaten his family. His teenage son, Brady, steps forward, ready to defend them, but Hutch stops him. Instead of fighting back, Hutch lets the robbers take what they want and leave. When the police arrive later, they inspect the scene, but Hutch feels only shame. His son's disappointed eyes pierce his heart. Brady believes his father is weak for not fighting back. Hutch can't shake the guilt. He lies awake that night, replaying the moment over and over, asking himself why he didn't do anything. The next morning, he faces more humiliation. Neighbors mock him for being a coward, claiming they would have beaten the thieves if it happened to them. At work, Hutch's brother-in-law, Charlie Williams, also taunts him, calling him a loser for doing nothing. Charlie even hands him a gun, telling him to use it next time he's in danger. Hutch reluctantly takes it, unsure of what to think. In his office, Hutch contacts his half-brother, Harry Mansell, and tells him about the robbery. He explains that one of the burglars was a young woman with a revolver, but something about it felt off. After observing closely, Hutch realized the gun wasn't even loaded. Harry listens and warns him not to do anything stupid, reminding him that the situation isn't worth risking his life over. That evening, Hutch returns home and discovers that Sammy has lost her favorite bracelet, one she loved dearly. She used to keep it in the same bowl where Hutch placed the stolen money. Realizing the burglars must have taken it, Hutch's guilt turns into quiet rage. He decides to find them, not for revenge, but to retrieve his daughter's bracelet, a symbol of his failure as a protector. Hutch goes to see his father, David Mansell, a retired FBI agent. Borrowing his dad's old badge and gun, Hutch sets out to track down the burglars. He begins visiting tattoo parlors, asking about a specific tattoo he saw on the woman's wrist. Shop after shop gives him nothing, until finally, one owner notices the badge and calls him out, saying the badge expired decades ago. As tension rises, a group of men surrounds Hutch, ready to attack. Calmly, he pulls out some cash, offering to pay for any information about the tattooed girl. Just as things get violent, one of the men notices a tattoo on Hutch's wrist. The atmosphere shifts. Fear spreads across their faces. The man orders his crew to stand down and give Hutch whatever he wants. He refuses to even take the money, realizing Hutch is not just some ordinary guy. Eventually, Hutch locates the burglars, a young couple living in poverty. He confronts them and realizes they're harmless, struggling to survive with a sick baby. Seeing the desperation in their eyes, Hutch lowers his weapon and walks away silently, leaving them unharmed. Still restless, Hutch boards a late-night bus. A group of drunk thugs enters and starts harassing a young woman. Something inside him snaps. He asks the driver to stop the bus and let everyone else off. Locking the doors, he faces the gang alone. One of the thugs sneers, "What are you still doing here, old man?" before charging at him. Hutch cracks a smile and mutters, "I'm gonna mess you up," before unleashing his pent-up fury. The fight is brutal and messy, but Hutch fights like a man possessed. He takes punches, bleeds, and gets knocked down repeatedly, but keeps coming back. His moves are calculated and efficient, revealing his hidden skill and deadly experience. By the time it's over, the thugs are lying broken on the bus floor. Hutch leaves, limping and bloodied, apologizing to the driver for the mess before walking away into the night. Unknowingly, he drops his credit card during the brawl. Meanwhile, in a luxurious nightclub, a Russian gangster named Yulian Kuznetsov receives a phone call. He's told that several of his men were beaten badly on a bus, and one of them happens to be his younger brother. Furious, Julian rushes to the hospital where he finds his brother barely clinging to life. The surviving thug hands him Hutch's credit card, identifying the man who did it. The next day, Hutch sits at home having lunch with his family, trying to act normal. As he plays with his daughter, the phone rings. It's Harry. He warns Hutch that he's in serious trouble. The men he fought belong to a dangerous Russian syndicate, and their leader, Julian, is now hunting him down. Harry urges Hutch to disappear immediately before it's too late. Realizing the gravity of the situation, Hutch contacts a man nicknamed the Barber, someone who deals in underworld information. When they meet, the Barber recognizes Hutch's past and warns him that Julian is ruthless and unstoppable. He advises Hutch to take his family and vanish, offering him a chance to escape while he still can. After meeting the Barber, Hutch returns home, his mind racing. He calmly tells his wife Becca that they are taking a sudden family trip. They'll be gone for a while, maybe to Italy, he says, just to relax and spend time together. His wife and children, unaware of the danger, brighten up at the thought. For the first time in a while, there's a glimmer of happiness in their home. But before they can leave, Hutch notices several black cars pulling up outside. His instincts flare up instantly. Julian's men have arrived. He quickly guides his wife and kids into the basement, instructing them not to come out under any circumstance. Hutch gives her one last reassuring look before locking the door behind them. Moments later, Julian's armed men storm the house. They sweep through the rooms, shouting orders, searching for Hutch. What they don't realize is that the quiet, soft-spoken man they're hunting has turned the entire house into a trap. A violent fight breaks out. Hutch moves like a shadow, quick, brutal, and methodical. He kills one man after another with homemade weapons, knives, and sheer precision. Blood splatters the walls as his suppressed rage explodes into lethal force. But despite his skill, Hutch is eventually overpowered. The gang knocks him out, drags his body outside, and throws him into a car to deliver him to Julian. Inside the vehicle, Hutch regains consciousness. Without hesitation, he strikes back using smoke bombs to blind the men. The car spins out of control, crashes into a pole, and explodes into chaos. When the smoke clears, the assassins are either dead or unconscious. Hutch crawls out, bloodied but alive. One of the wounded men weakly asks, "Who are you?" Hutch looks him dead in the eye and replies coldly, "I'm nobody." He walks away from the wreck and returns home. Becca and the kids emerge from the basement, trembling at the carnage inside the house. Blood covers the floors, bodies lie scattered, and the air smells of smoke and gunpowder. Becca's face fills with fear and disbelief. She's never seen this side of her husband before. Hutch gently takes her hand and urges her to leave with the children immediately. "Go now, don't look back," he insists. Reluctantly, she nods and drives off with the kids, leaving Hutch alone in the wreckage of their once normal life. As silence fills the room, Hutch sits down, exhausted, staring blankly into space. His eyes drift toward a photo of his family, then to the chaos around him. Memories begin to surface, flashes of his past life. Before his quiet suburban existence, Hutch had worked as a government assassin, a cleaner who handled jobs no one else could. He was the kind of man sent to eliminate those too dangerous to capture alive. For years he lived in that world, killing without emotion, but one day during an assignment, something changed. He had been ordered to kill a man who begged for mercy, claiming he had reformed and left his criminal life behind. Hutch hesitated for the first time in his career and let him live. Days later, Hutch secretly returned to see if the man was telling the truth. To his surprise, he found him living peacefully with his family, genuinely trying to be a better person. That moment changed Hutch forever. He realized not every sinner deserved death. He quit his deadly profession and tried to live a normal life. He got married, raised kids, and buried his past. But deep down, the violence never truly left him. Now, that past had come knocking on his door again. Amid the debris, he spots Sammy's bracelet, the same one that started this entire ordeal. Determined to erase all evidence, Hutch drenches the house in gasoline, lights a match, and watches it burn. The flames rise high, consuming the blood, the bodies, and his old life along with them. Elsewhere, Julian watches a video on his phone showing the destruction left behind by Hutch. His expression turns cold and furious. He learns that all his men sent to kill that old nobody are dead. Vowing revenge, he gathers his army and prepares for war. Meanwhile, Hutch gears up for the inevitable showdown. He drives to a warehouse, his family's old factory, and begins setting up traps, weapons, and explosives. The camera pans over shelves filled with guns, knives, and bombs, all meticulously prepared. Every movement he makes is deliberate and calm, like a man getting ready for a mission he's done 1,000 times before. As he loads his weapons, he contacts his father and half-brother, letting them know what's coming. "I'll handle this," he tells them. The final battle is about to begin. Hutch heads straight to Julian's base and works his way through the building, taking out every guard he encounters. He clears the halls, storage rooms, and upper walkways with fast, precise attacks, killing all of Julian's men one by one. After wiping out the entire place, he pours gasoline over Julian's obshchak money and sets the whole base on fire. From there, Hutch goes directly to Julian's club, where Julian is performing on stage. Hutch confronts him with a claymore explosive in hand and gives him one last chance to stop everything. Julian refuses, so Hutch walks out. As Hutch drives away, Julian's men immediately start shooting at him, triggering a full pursuit. Hutch gets hit in the arm during the chase but keeps going and leads them straight to the factory he prepared earlier. As he starts getting cornered, his brother Harry and his father David arrive and join the fight, helping Hutch take down the incoming waves of Julian's men together. With everything prepared inside the factory, Hutch sets his trap-filled battleground and waits. Soon enough, Julian arrives with a full convoy of armed men. They storm into the factory, confident and ready to tear Hutch apart, but the moment they step inside, the traps spring to life. Explosions, flying shrapnel, and steel cables whip through the air, instantly taking down several of Julian's soldiers. The warehouse becomes a war zone. The three of them spread out, Harry sniping from higher ground, David handling close-range threats, and Hutch moving through the center of the factory, using his traps, tripwires, and improvised weapons to wipe out each incoming wave. Explosives hidden in machinery take out clusters of attackers, while spring-loaded spikes and automatic shotgun rigs narrow down the rest. Hutch uses the environment to his advantage, slamming enemies into metal beams, choking others with wires, and finishing off the last stragglers with precise gunshots. Just when the fight seems under control, Julian storms into the factory with a machine gun and opens fire. The bullets shred through the machinery, and one round clips Harry's arm. Hutch moves to cover him but gets hit hard, forcing both of them to fall back behind cover. Hutch returns fire from the rear, laying down enough suppressive shots to keep Julian from advancing. Out of ammo and cornered, Hutch grabs a panel of bulletproof glass and tapes the claymore mine to the front. He charges straight at Julian, tackling him while holding the shield up. The claymore detonates, the glass absorbing the blast on Hutch's side, while the explosion destroys Julian instantly. Hutch is thrown back, but survives, badly shaken and injured. With Julian dead and the last of the mob wiped out, the factory goes silent. Police arrive moments later and arrest Hutch, bringing the story back to the opening interrogation scene. After a sudden phone call, Hutch is released without charges. Months later, Hutch is buying a new home with his family when he receives another mysterious call, hinting that his quiet life might not stay quiet for long. Meanwhile, Harry and David are shown traveling armed and ready, prepared for whatever comes next.